Good evening and welcome to Sunset News on this Wednesday evening. As always, we bring you news, community stories, economics, weather, and sports. I am Glenora Shipura. Getting into the news tonight, speaking at the anti-corruption conference held at Kavango River Lodge in Rundu, National Council MP and Regional Councillor for Rundu Rural Paulus Mbangu drew attention to critical resource constraints affecting his region. He stated how limited financial and human resources hinder essential service delivery in healthcare, education, and infrastructure. Mbangu stressed the dire healthcare challenges, noting the lack of local facilities to handle critical cases. When a patient is critically ill, they have to be transported over 700 kilometers to Windhoek for better health care, often without a doctor on board the ambulance, he explained. Mbangu urged for the establishment of an intermediate hospital to address these long-standing issues, underscoring the link between better governance and improved regional services. Philippus Joseph gave in the report.
The regional council, number one, is the issue of resource constraint. Resources are limited. We have a limited financial resources, we have a limited human resources, which also hinder the delivery of service, such as healthcare, education, and infrastructure development. It's a known fact that we have very few clinics in the region. It's a known fact that we have very few health centers in the region. It's a known fact that we don't have an intermediate hospital in the region. In fact, most of these hospitals were built before independence. We have Andara Hospital built before independence, Nyangana the same, and Rundu Hospital also the same. What we did after independence is just an extension of the maternity ward. And now, some of the challenges is that when a patient is critically ill, you have to be transported about more than 700 kilometers to go to Windhoek to access better health care. And imagine a critical person. And in an ambulance, there's no doctor who would want to travel to be in that ambulance. So it's only the nurses that have to attend to that patient. Those are some of the challenges that we are grappling with. And we have always been saying that perhaps there's also a need for us to have an intermediate hospital here.
The Karibeb Town Council, in collaboration with QKR Nabahab Gold Mine, has officially switched on new traffic lights at two intersections in town. The lights will be monitored over the coming weeks to ensure optimal functionality, with adjustments made as necessary. Motorists and pedestrians are encouraged to adhere to the traffic signals for safety. The Electoral Commission of Namibia has declared the final results of the 2024 presidential and National Assembly election. SWAPO won 51 of the 96 seats compared to 63 seats it won in the last 2019 election. In second place is Independent Patriots for Change with 20 seats. IPC was established in 2020 and thus did not participate in the 2019 election. For the presidential vote, SWAPO's Netumbo Nandi Ndaitwah won by 57.31%, followed by IPC's Dr. Panduleni Itula with 25.50%. That concludes our top stories. On the other side of the break, we take a look at our community talk.
Connection. It's in the human touch, the feeling of belonging. It inspires us and empowers us, creates clarity from complexity. It starts new conversations, unlocks the power of advice, and makes an impact on your life. At Alex Forbes, we pioneer insight to provide you with advice that connects your decisions of today to your impact tomorrow.
As previously mentioned, let's take a look at the Electoral Commission of Namibia, which has declared the final results of the 2024 presidential and National Assembly election results. And then after that, we'll take a look at our community talk.
First and foremost, as I stand here to receive this 2024 presidential and National Assembly elections, I would like, on behalf of the SWAPO party leadership, members, SWAPO supporters and sympathizers, to thank the Namibian people for once again having shown their confidence and trust on the SWAPO party to continue providing guidance on our developmental agenda and on the strengthening of our institution. I would also like to thank the Namibian people who have shown their love of their country by ensuring that peace and stability continue to prevail in our country, particularly during the campaign and throughout the process of our elections. I would also like to thank the commissioners under your leadership, Chairperson, for having finalized the process that we are here today to receive the results. As I'm accepting this result, I would say once again on behalf of the SWAPO party, the Namibian nation has voted for peace and stability. You have voted for unity in diversity, natural resources beneficiation, and youth empowerment for sustainable development. And this we will do through economic transformation. It was in the same room in 2019 when our third president, our late Dr. Hage Geingob, may his soul rest in eternal peace, when he stood here and he said, we Namibians, we heard you. Today I'm saying to the Namibian people, as we have been telling you throughout the campaign, for us in the SWAPO party and the team that I'm going to lead, we have made commitments, and I'm saying to you, we are going to do what we have told you. Thank you for your trust and confidence on us.
Getting into our community talk, Swakopmund municipality handed over 1,300 Christmas parcels to senior citizens. Swakopmund Mayor Blasius Horaseb shares that this is more than just a handover, but more of a thanks offering for the elders' valuable input in the community. Precious Gitwanapo was there and gave in this report.
As van ons se kant af as die munisipaliteit, omdat ons 'n sosiale verantwoordelikheid het as 'n institusie om ook terug te gee aan die gemeenskap waarvan ons kom. So hierdie pakkies ons begin met die registrasies rondom Junie maand tot Augustus maand en ons vra dat die groot mense by die verskillende kerke hulle name neerskryf en dan werk ons met die kerke want dit werk vir ons baie beter te uit. En as ons al die name gekry het, dan begin ons met die aankoopproses van die geskikkies wat dan in die pakkies is. So hierdie jaar het ons so 1200 pakkies daar by mekaar gebring en in hierdie pakkies is daar 'n paar van die noodsakelikhede wat ons in die huis nodig het. Soos mieliemeel is bietjie daar, is 'n bietjie macaroni, ons het seker gemaak daar's 'n bietjie rys in dit, suiker en 'n bietjie tee, want ons weet die groot mense hou van so 'n teetjie, so ons het 'n teetjie daar ingesit met 'n paar pakkies sop en dan ook 'n bietjie vis en so aan. So met hierdie byeenkoms vandag gaan dit nie vir ons net oor kospakkies uit te deel, maar die groot gedagte met die dag is om erkenning te gee aan die groot mense wat ons het in die dorp en om baie dankie te sê aan die groot mense. So dit gaan vir ons baie meer as net die oorhandiging van die pakkies.
Economic news follows after the break.
ShopRite Namibia and Synergy Chatbot are delivering the Christmas spirit. This festive season, I've got a very special surprise just for you. My magical elves will be delivering gifts straight to your doorsteps. Grab your crayons or pencils and draw me a picture. Simply save the number on your phone and follow the on-screen prompts.
Getting into our economic news, on the 2nd and the 3rd of December 2024, the Monetary Policy Committee of the Bank of Namibia held its 6th and last bi-monthly meeting for 2024 to decide on the appropriate monetary policy stance to be implemented over the next 2 months to continue supporting the domestic economy while simultaneously safeguarding the peg between the Namibian dollar and the South African rand. The MPC decided to reduce the repo rate by 25 basis points to 7%. This decision was made following a comprehensive review of domestic, regional, and global economic developments. Let's take a look.
The Monetary Policy Committee of the Bank of Namibia decided to lower the policy rate by 25 basis points to 7%. This decision underscores our commitment to fostering growth and prosperity. At the heart of this commitment lies the core principle of monetary policy, that is, ensuring low and stable inflation. By anchoring stability, we create a solid foundation for sustainable economic progress, safeguarding the well-being of businesses and households alike. This decision was reached following a comprehensive review of current and expected domestic, regional, and global economic developments. Let us consider domestic developments that has influenced this decision. Domestic economic activity continued to expand during the first 10 months of 2024. Domestic economic activity continued to expand during the first 10 months of 2024. The domestic disinflationary process progressed steadily since the previous MPC meeting, while growth in private sector credit extension, PSC, improved despite remaining subdued. The merchandise trade deficit widened further, while the stock of international reserves remained sufficient to maintain the currency peg and meet the country's international financial obligations. Domestic activity strengthened during the first 10 months of 2024 relative to the same period in 2023. The expansion was primarily driven by mining, electricity generation, wholesale and retail trade, tourism, communication and transport sectors, and the livestock marketing subsector. However, the diamond and crop production subsectors contracted during the period under review, while the construction sector remained subdued. Expected real gross domestic product growth has been revised upward since the last MPC meeting. From 4.2% in 2023, the real GDP growth for 2024 as a whole is projected to moderate to 3.5%. That is 0.4 percentage point higher relative to the projection at the previous MPC meeting.
Getting into our financial indicators, the Namibian dollar trades against the British pound at 22.92, against the euro at 19.09, against the US dollar at 18.09. 2 Namibian dollars and 50 cents gets you 1 Chinese yuan. On the commodities market, all major commodities went up, with Brent crude oil trading at 1%, going for $72 and 97 cents per barrel. In international news, the South Korean president faces impeachment after martial law debacle. We get into this after the break.
Only free range. What's right for our laying hens is right for you. Only local, never imported. Only date-stamped eggshells so you know it's still fresh. The only eggs to choose.
Santa has a festive surprise for you. Starting 2nd December, unwrap the magic of Christmas with our Advent calendar. Spot the Christmas globes in your favorite newspapers from Monday to Friday. Scan the QR code or WhatsApp hashtag Advent Calendar 24 to the Synergy chatbot. Find the Christmas globes on NTV. Or visit our Facebook pages for daily Advent doors from Monday to Saturday. Win daily prizes. Lucky winners will be contacted and Logistics Hub Namibia will deliver your prize. Merry Christmas from Santa and his proud prize sponsors.
Getting into our international news, South Korean lawmakers submitted a bill today to impeach President Yoon Suk Yeol after he declared martial law in the country, a major U.S. ally, before rescinding the decision hours later after a chaotic standoff between Parliament and the army. Parliament rejected Yoon's surprise declaration of martial law, which attempted to ban political activity and censor the media in Asia's fourth largest economy, as armed troops forced their way into the National Assembly building in Seoul. 6 South Korean opposition parties later submitted a bill in Parliament to impeach Yoon, who had already faced accusations of heavy-handed leadership from his opponents and from within his party, with voting set for Friday or Saturday. A plenary session to formally introduce the bill was scheduled to begin shortly after midnight on Wednesday. We couldn't ignore the illegal martial law, DP lawmaker Kim Yong-min told reporters. We can no longer let democracy collapse. Civic and labor groups held a candlelight vigil in downtown Seoul on Wednesday evening, calling for Yoon's resignation, a reminder of the massive candlelight protest that led to the impeachment of former President Park Geun-hye in 2017. They then began marching towards the presidential office. The leader of Yoon's ruling People Power Party called for Defense Minister Kim Yong-hyun to be fired and the entire cabinet to resign. Kim has offered to resign, the defense ministry said, country from pro-North Korean anti-state forces and protect the free constitutional order, although he cited no specific threats. Now, troops tried to seize control of the parliament building but stood back when parliamentary aides sprayed them with fire extinguishers while protesters scuffled with police outside. That concludes our international news. Let's get into our weather predictions. The capital city can expect a minimum of 17 degrees Celsius and a maximum of 32 degrees Celsius with partly cloudy conditions. Oshoarongo can expect sunny weather conditions with a minimum of 18 and a maximum of 34 degrees Celsius, while Oshakati can enjoy sunny weather with a minimum of 23 and a maximum of 36 degrees Celsius. Henties Bay can expect a minimum of 15 and a maximum of 20 degrees Celsius with partly cloudy conditions, while Rehoboth can also expect partly cloudy conditions with a minimum of 16 and a maximum of 34 degrees Celsius. We'll now head over to the sports desk, proudly brought to you by Sportsrep. Here's Ari Hokat with the sports news.
Good everyone, time for international sports news, and starting off with soccer news first. It's English Premier League midweek games that was played, and it's Leicester City that won 3-1 against West Ham. That's a great start for new coach Ruud van Nistelrooy. That was his first game for Leicester City, and it was a good start in the beginning of the game. Early in the game, in the second minute, it was Jamie Vardy that scored the first goal, and then the third goal was scored in the 90th minute and a consolation goal in the 93rd minute for West Ham. West Ham battling at the moment. It's their 7th defeat in 14 games, so that leaves them in 14th position on the English Premier League. That's with 15 league points. And then Leicester City now in 15th position. They've got 13 league points. The next game for Leicester City will be a home game this coming weekend, a tough game for them. They play against Brighton. Brighton at the moment in the top 5 of the English Premier League. They're sitting in 4th position with 23 points from 13 games. Other game that was played, that was Crystal Palace, and they beat Ipswich. That was a home game for them. They beat them by 1-0. Moving on to cricket news, and South Africa Cricket announced that Heinrich Klaasen will be the captain in the T20 series. That's a home series for South Africa playing against Pakistan. There will be 3 T20 games, and it is Aiden Markram, the current captain, that will focus on the Test series against Sri Lanka. Some other players that will also miss the T20 series that's playing the Test match series against Sri Lanka is Marco Jansen, also Kashev Maharaj, and also Tristan Stubbs. All of them not available for the T20 team, but at least it's Anrich Nortje, the fast bowler, that will be available to play in the series against Pakistan. The first game will be on the 10th of December. That will be in Durban. Then on the 13th of December, the second game is in Centurion in Pretoria. And the third game is the day after that, the 14th of December in Johannesburg. To close off today's international sports news, it is rugby news. The Cape Town Sevens, that starts this coming weekend, and the format has been changed. Lots of pressure on South Africa to qualify for the semi-finals. It is because there's now 4 groups of 3 teams in each group. That means only the winner of each group goes straight to the semi-final. There's no more quarterfinals. South Africa in a tough group. They need to win both games against Ireland and Argentina to go through to the semi-finals on Sunday. Also rugby news is Australian rugby star, that is Jordan Petaia. He announced that he's going to leave Australian rugby. That's a big decision, as it is the British and Irish Lions that tour Australia in 2025. Petaia confirmed that he will now focus on NFL in the USA, that is Gridiron Rugby, and he will be in Florida for a 10-week training camp. He's 24 years old and he's got 31 caps for Australia. That's international sports news for today. Hope you have a great sport day, and we talk international sport again tomorrow. Goodbye.
As the holiday season draws near, ShopRite and Synergy Chatbot are delivering the Christmas spirit. Welcome at Santa's Wishlist. Follow the instructions to submit your drawing and letter to Santa. Step 1. Start by drawing a picture for Santa. And when you're done, just jot down a few details about yourself right next to it. Step 2. Scan the QR code and it will open up WhatsApp with a little message that says #ShopRiteSanta. Just send that message to Santa. Or if you like, you can also type #ShopRiteSanta into WhatsApp and send it to the number as indicated. Step 3. Follow the simple steps in the chatbot and submit your name and age. And most excitingly, the present you've picked from the list. Don't forget to include your physical address so Santa can find his way to you. Step 4. Once you've completed the previous steps, snap a photo of your drawing and your letter to Santa to submit your entry. Now, remember, I'm looking forward to all the wonderful drawings and letters you'll be sending my way. See you soon, and keep spreading that holiday cheer. Ho, ho, ho!
And with that, we've come to the end of the broadcast. Do make sure you join Sunset News on Facebook, on all the NMH platforms on weekdays, as well as on our website, oneup2.com. From me, Glenora Shipura. Until next time.